Hi, my stars! It's me, Missy. I'm back, and today I'm going to be playing some more of Thronebreaker, A Witcher's Tale. Now, when we last left off, I had just gotten into Rivia, and I had a meeting with my idiot son, who betrayed me, and, well, we just told him to basically go screw himself, and now I'm going to be heading home to, make war on my own country right now, considering the Black Lads have taken over, and I want to take back my home. So, I guess with that, guys, we are going to be going to battle to get my home back. And before we get into anything else, two things. First thing, Naros guys and Beer Stubble, thank you so much for following me. I really, really appreciate it. And second thing, if you haven't seen my YouTube, I have over 600 videos over there. Go check it out. There's something for everybody over there. And please like, subscribe, follow, whatever the hell it is you guys want to do. And with that, let's go, shall we?
Meve now reached Willowhain, a settlement she knew well, for it lay near Waldenrad, where in peacetime she would go to escape her queenly duties and enjoy the thrill of a hunt.
Pheasant, grouse, and partridge in abundance. You will see,
said Meve in muted excitement, pivoting in her saddle to face Gascon.
I doubt that's there anymore.
Alas, it appeared the war had ravaged even these woods. Where life had stirred and grown tall before, only resinous trunks remained. And the village itself had lost its quaint allure, surrounded now by a double stockade, a golden sun fluttering above it.
Bastards couldn't even let the damn trees be.
Gascon seethed.
Of course not.
A dismal scene. Her once cherished wood, and it weighed heavily on the Queen's spirits. Waldenrad had been a place removed, where she could rest and forget the weight of her crown. Reynard's voice roused Meve from her sad reverie.
A Nilfgaardian garrison holds the village,
he said.
We ought to drive them out, avoid any surprise later from the rear.
I agree. Order the attack.
give the order to attack, but none is to play the hero. We shall breach or topple the stockade together. Senseless to perish so close to home.
Reynard nodded. Moments later, the Lyrians rushed forth and attacked.
Let's go. The Battle of Willowhain. Me recalled her first hunt in Waldenrad nearly 20 years ago. She was young, naive, and newlywed to Reginald. Now the forest had been razed, Reginald was dead, and Meve shared little in common with the starry-eyed girl who first arrived at the Lyrian court. Yeah, I bet we don't share much in common anymore, do we? Before we do anything else, I just want to check one minor thing. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, let's go. It's a shortened battle. Let's kick some ass. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. These all suck. Fine, let's do this.
The time has come to purge these devils from our homes! Follow me!
Well, let's kick some ass. Knickers! Good boy! Okay,
Watch your
would you
heads.
like some fire? I have fire. Have fun with that.
Wise choice.
Give me a target.
Alba!
Arbalista, your command.
Goodbye.
Order!
Let's attack him.
Left, right, left, right.
Gloire! Catch!
There you go.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
Let's pull this guy back. Okay.
Diabel, that ass.
Place this guy.
Sod it all.
Greetings.
You and then
What is
you
it?
do this. We're still way ahead of them, which is good.
Your life is mine now.
Quick and painful this'll be.
To the gloire!
There we are.
Yeah, yeah!
Him.
Egreto dum anime est, spes est.
Do that. We're at 156 and pass. We won! Victory! Look at that.
When the battle dust had settled, Meve instructed her soldiers to gather Willowhane's inhabitants. Upon spotting their armed liberators, the common folk cowered in terror.
No longer need you fear.
The Queen shouted,
No longer must you worry about homes and loved ones. The war's nearly done.
Of a sudden, a villager dropped to his knees and raised his hands to the heavens in supplication.
Trocke! Guide my queen!
Meve broke off oddly, baffled by the man's outburst. And then it dawned on her. The Rivians of Willowhane had been driven away.
Oh god.
Taking their place, Nilfgaardian settlers brought in to transform the near-subsistence plots of local peasants into great estates producing for the Empire.
Of course. They just ruin everything, don't they?
Reynard managed to grasp the essence of the Nilfgaardian peasants' frantic pleas.
They wish to stay. They've come to love the land. They pledged to renounce their emperor, swear allegiance to you as their rightful ruler.
Meve had stopped listening.
Yes.
She turned to survey the hamlet. The walls of the huts freshly whitewashed, tools neatly arranged, flower beds well tended. A young girl of 6 or 7 summers peered out from her hiding place in a sunflower patch.
Your Majesty?
Asked Reynard, having noted that Meve's mind had wandered.
What are your orders? What shall we do?
Let the Nilfgaardian settlers stay.
They can stay on 2 conditions. Tell them. For 15 years, they'll pay double the tax. And if any of the previous inhabitants return, they're to be given their huts, lands, and any crops produced in their absence without delay.
The Nilfgaardian settlers accepted the terms with relief. Meve's soldiers with markedly less enthusiasm. As the force left Willowhane, the troops made a show of knocking aside any food or drink the peasants offered.
It's not for their fault that they were brought here, that's the issue.
Hail, Reina, Maeve! Here, gloire!
Rivians! I know many of you are hesitant to take up arms for fear the Nilfgaardian cannot be defeated. Oh my god. Nilfgaard cannot be defeated. I don't know why that couldn't work in my brain. I, Queen Maeve, have already many times disproven this fallacy. I have soundly defeated black-clad forces amidst the flames in Eredin, the snows of Mahakam, and the marshes of Angren. Until this moment, these victories were unknown to you. The truth can no longer remain silent. The Nilfgaardian Empire is a colossus that stands on feet of clay. Together we can bring it to its knees. I agree. More supplies. Nothing here. Reports. Letter from Caldwell. Dragomir, my health is well, thank you for asking. I have other troubles, though. I have it from a good source. Maeve has left Mahakam with dwarven recruits supplementing her ranks. I suspect she might mean to pay me a visit, as absurd as it sounds in light of recent events. I begin to entertain the possibility that that vile wench might actually succeed in liberating Lyria and Rivia. As they say, fools have all the luck. In that case, do not count on Mercy. I know her well, and trust me, never has a more vengeful, malicious woman walked this world. Why, aren't you just a flatterer? As soon as you hear she's crossed the border, put your men on high alert, kiss your wife and children. I hope we shall see each other soon. Yeah, in hell. Let's go to the shrine, and then I will go do my other things. There we are. A little better. Now, where am I going? Yeah, so I've been over here because that's the werewolf. Let's go over this way.
Maeve spied the outline of Malabon Castle on the horizon and turned dour. True, no golden suns waved atop its towers, yet that did not mean those within supported her. Malabon belonged to House Obert, long in conflict with Maeve's own, and with Maeve herself.
Behind their ramparts. Do you see them, Reynard?
Asked Maeve, shaking her head.
Countless ballistae, collecting dust, while war rages all around.
Perhaps the Oberts will lend us aid,
Reynard replied.
True, you've been at odds with them in the past, but perhaps now, faced with a common foe.
A common foe?
Snorted the Queen.
You mean Nilfgaard, to whom they opened their gates? Caldwell, whom they supported?
For they were convinced the Empire would win this war, and resistance pointless. Yet you have shown all the North the Blackclads can be defeated. So perhaps they shall forget old wrongs.
Let's ask them for help.
The things I do for the good of my realm.
Maeve sighed.
So be it. Reynard, send a runner to the castle. Tell the Oberts their queen seeks a word.
Moments later, the castle's heavy iron gate creaked open. Maeve rode into the cobblestone courtyard, where Margravine Greta, head of the house, greeted her. Although greeted is perhaps not the right word, for Lady Greta granted her only a barely perceptible nod.
Oh, God.
What can I help you with, Meave?
The war, my dear. The one being fought outside the walls of your castle.
Greta smiled to herself, then intertwined her brittle, ring-covered fingers.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
It is a vassal's sacred duty to serve her liege, and
my liege is King Willem.
Greta calmly retorted.
Against whom you have raised arms.
Willem is a usurper. He unlawfully stripped me of my crown.
The Council of Peers deprived you of your crown.
Greta said, pursing her eyes into thin slits.
Fearing you would drag this realm into a senseless war. A fear which, it is now abundantly clear, was well-founded.
I have returned home a victor. I defeated the Nilfgaardians in Angren.
Due to a stroke of good luck. You think defeating Caldwell means you can defeat the Emperor as well? Madness, my dear Meave. And my men will not die for madness. Leave my home! Begone from my lands!
Fuck it.
I shall go,
The Queen said.
and I shall take your war machines with me.
Did I not express myself clearly? I have refused you any aid.
And I have stopped asking.
Meave said, drawing her weapon.
Soldiers! Attack!
Seeing that a battle was imminent, Greta Obert took refuge in the keep. The Margravine soldiers stood ready to defend her life to the very end.
Well, it's gonna be one. I'm treated everybody else as just as meanly as I'm treating this old bitch, so might as well. Castle Obert. Marguerite, Greta Obert's hands were twisted with arthritis, her eyes cloudy, but her mind remained sharp. She knew when and how to deploy troops to repel an attack, where to strike to hold back. Where to strike to hold back Meave's men. In other words, despite her advanced age, she proved a dangerous opponent. Prevent any dilapidated ballistae from being destroyed. Eliminate all Obert family guards. Special rule, short battle. Good.
You and Epdahi, you are no different.
There's a time to reap, a time to sow, and a time to die.
Shh! Cork it!
Lyria!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
There we are.
Aye.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
There we are.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
I smell a reek.
There we are.
One bolt's all I need.
Thee war, you dirty tart.
Congratulations. You've defeated an old woman.
Hey, yay!
Shocked by this sudden attack, the Oberts never stood a chance of resisting Meave. Realizing their inevitable defeat, Margravine Greta tried to escape, but her horse, frightened by the tumult of battle, tossed her from the saddle and bolted. Meve left Malabon Castle strengthened by the Obert's war machines, but in dour spirits. She understood that even if she won the war and chased the Nilfgaardians behind the Yaruga, she would still have enemies left on her land.
We got reinforced ballista. Well, screw the old bitch. What is that over here I see? There we are. Okay, and now over this way. And then after this, we can go over to the bridge, I think. 1 second.
Let me tell you of Ravencloft, a quarry Meve passed by. A quarry with a dark history. For years earlier, its wall had collapsed, burying dozens alive. Scholars summoned from Oxenfurt were unanimous in their findings. The rock was fragile, further digging would likely cause slides. Meve had heeded the scholars' advice and closed the quarry by royal decree.
They opened it again.
Yet
Didn't
now,
they?
as she neared it, Meve could hear the even tap of pickaxes. She dispatched scouts to investigate. They returned promptly, their faces sullen, their cloaks blanched with a fine limestone dust.
Quarry's open anew, Your Grace. Nilfgaardians. They've got folk in the pit working it. Appear to be from the surrounding villages.
Interesting. Their engineers have found a way to render it safe. Secure the walls.
I'd say that's right unlikely, Majesty. Judging by the fresh graves we saw.
Of course. As long as it's not their own people suffering, they don't give a shit.
Reynard, as ever, at her side.
Reynard, what do you advise?
As a soldier, my queen, I'd advise against any kind of assault. The terrain's hard, unsuitable for a fight, and we've little to gain from a victory. As a man, however...
Yes?
To leave our folk in chains, in that death trap. 'Twouldn't be right.
I agree. Attempt to liberate the quarry.
If I were to calculate in heart and mind, keep note of gains and losses,
Began Meve.
I'd bend the knee to the Imperials, just as Willem did. But bloody arithmetic won't dictate my course, for I do what's just. I do what's right. Follow me!
Her troops followed without hesitation, swords in hand, their hearts afire.
Let's go. The battle at Ravencloft. Meve had expected easy victory. From her scouts' reports, she learned the Lyrians held a considerable numerical advantage over the invading forces, yet the Queen had not foreseen one critical Nilfgaardian strategy: the use of chained captives to fight opposite their own countrymen. Eliminate all slave drivers.
Those Horsens, forcing my own subjects to fight us.
Wise choice.
And just when you thought things were about to get dull.
The bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Are you mad? Don't shake that!
There we are.
Order!
Knickers!
Your life is mine now.
Your Grace, if we begin killing the overseers, the laborers will turn against them.
This could hurt. Zericania, source of the best goods.
Goodbye.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Here we are.
That will do.
Hey?
There we
The
are.
overseers are dead, Your Grace.
Victory!
The Lyrians handily dispatched the Nilfgaardian overseers, more trained in the ways of the whip than the sword. Those who survived now found themselves shackled in the very chains they'd forced the peasants to wear. Peasants. Oh, unfortunate souls. The cruel labor in the quarry had taken its toll. They stood before the Queen, shrunken to skin and bone, clothed in tattered rags, their eyes reddened by dust. But in those eyes burned a brilliant fire.
Muzzle card acquired.
Your Grace, them black-clads treated us like dogs, stripped us of dignity. So we beg you, give us arms. Let us march neath your banner. 'Tis a chance at revenge we seek, we want.
Reynard leaned towards Meave and spoke in a scarcely audible whisper.
Majesty, they've knout. Not boots, not even foot wraps. To equip the lot, train them, would cost a small fortune.
Well, I have one. Conscript the peasants.
Tis true. They've knout to their names.
Said the Queen.
Have few skills to offer and little strength. But to look in their eyes is to know they'll never flee. Never throw down their arms. Such recruits are worth coin in any amount.
Emaciated, downtrodden, the peasants met the Queen's offer with gratitude. They relished the thought of facing their tormentors in a fight.
Look at that. Look at my teeny tiny army now, bitches. Now to head to the gate. Oh, it is this way, I think. And here we go.
Meave's force reached Cavaldon, a small, run-down town.
The Blackclads, they've a strong garrison in place.
Proclaimed her scouts upon returning from a foray.
And they stand prepared for a siege. Their stores overflow, and we've seen ballistas, scorpions.
Cavaldon can be taken,
Began Reynard hesitantly.
but not without losses. Considerable losses.
A retreat. Is that what you advise?
I fear the soldiers wouldn't take to such a course. They're eager, Your Grace. They've a fire in them. Order a retreat and you could devastate morale.
Order an assault.
Our losses may be heavy,
Said Meave, drawing her sword.
but I'll make certain the vile invader suffers even more. Order the troops to prepare. We will attack.
Soon after, the Lyrians moved on Cavaldon, war drums rumbling in step to their march. Upon the walls, the Nilfgaardians stood poised to defend.
Let's go. Siege of Cavaldon. When the Lyrians approached the walls of Cavaldon, they were greeted with a hail of bolts and arrows, and Nilfgaardians had made clear they had no intention of surrendering the city without a fight. Yet if they believed such a tactic sufficient to discourage Maeve's siege, a harsh truth awaited them. Story battle, shortened battle.
I won't leave a single city to these invader scum! For Lyria! For Rivia!
My, now that is some fancy weaponry. Bet it's still got that new war machine smell.
Hey, Knickers, dear boy.
What do you want of me?
Left, right, left, right.
Order! We must bring down their walls! Crush them!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Ennard Fien!
Again and again and again.
Nilfgaard! Ow!
I smell a leak.
There we are.
Then retreat!
After 2 turns and turns, start boosts this unit by the combined power of the adjacent units, then move to the other side.
Go, hop, hop! Your life is mine now!
There we are.
Cursed traitors.
Wise choice. We got a job to do.
That was not in the spell books.
We're getting close.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
A highly curious case.
God damn it. Restore all enemy units to their base power.
Destillat Seifel!
Hey?
Look at that.
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
Egreto dum anima est, spes est.
There we are.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Put you all there. I win.
We did it, Your Grace. The city is ours.
There we are.
The Nilfgaardians had indeed prepared well, with grapples to repel hook ladders from the walls and long spears to rain down upon attackers far below. Meve managed on the fourth attempt to breach the defences, but did so scrambling over the corpses of her own men. The Queen was in the field tent when Reynard arrived with surprising news. To be heard over the groans of the wounded, he had to raise his voice.
Your Grace, a delegation of townsfolk. They seek an audience urgently.
Dozens of burghers stood before the tent. Between them and the Queen, a man knelt in shackles. His face was blooded as if he'd endured a vicious beating just moments before.
Who's this?
Our blacksmith, Todor.
Snarled a priestess in a frayed robe.
He betrayed you, Your Grace. Soon after the Nilfgaardians arrived, within hours in truth, he offered his labour and strength. They didn't even need to ask. Forged arms and armour for them, all for imperial gold.
Meve gripped the beaten man's beard, tugged upwards, and looked him in the eyes.
Did you forge the hooks and the tips for those spears?
I did, Your Grace.
It was fine work.
Growled the Queen.
Damned fine.
Show him mercy, milady!
Cried a withered old man in a flour-spattered apron.
When the black-clad bastards captured my son, they were eager to hang him. Todor spoke for him, saved his life.
He helped me too.
Hollered a woman in the crowd.
I were hungry. He shared what little he had.
The townsfolk began shouting over one another. Some told of the blacksmith's noble deeds. Others labelled him a traitor, deserving of a cruel and violent end. Meve turned back towards the field hospital, pondering the case, then spotted her soldiers' corpses laid out in rows. Had it not been for Todor, there might not have been so many.
Have him lashed.
20 soldiers died today, wresting Cavaldon from Nilfgaard's grip.
Said Meve, her tone cold and unforgiving.
'Twas your iron that felled them. 'Twill be your blood that pays the debt. 5 lashes for each of the fallen.
Todor's torturers were several, as no one man's arm could complete 100 blows. Amazingly, Todor survived the ordeal, but his body had been broken. He'd never put hammer to anvil again, and spent the rest of his days a beggar.
Can't feel that bad for him, sadly. Let's collect my stuff and leave.
He weren't a bad person, milady. He strayed, aye, but deserved no such fate.
Your Majesty, the hut's untouched. Ripe grain in the fields, 'tis hard to believe. I feared we'd have another Edirn here, with the black-clads setting fire to all.
I feared nothing of the sort. Nilfgaard's not stupid. Lands it aims to hold, it doesn't destroy. And Willem did bend the knee to the Emperor.
Yeah, that's sadly true. Fucking Willem, my idiot son. Translated from Nilfgaardian. Day 1, resumed operations. Day 12, northern wall collapsed. 12 deaths, 7 injuries. Day 20, sent for more slaves. Day 26, received slave transport. Many decrepit and unfit for labor, assigned them 1/3 rations. Day 30, eastern wall collapsed. 7 deaths, 5 injuries. Day 32, sent for more slaves. Yeah. Seize a bronze enemy unit after 6 turns. On turn start, return to hand. Give a unit 8 armor. Reduce Maeve's cooldown to 0. Boost all allies on row by 4. My trinkets are max. Reinforcements. Choose an ally and play all copies of it in your deck. Shrike, damage a unit by 10. If it survived, boost it by 25. Damage all enemies by 1 and boost an ally by the amount damaged. Mark unit and boost it by 10 after 3 turns. On turn start, destroy the unit itself. Boost 2 allies and give 2 and give them immune. Petricide. Damage an enemy the total number of enemy units. Play all Skellige units from your graveyard. Create a trinket. Play a copy of this unit from your deck. After a different ally is played from a hand or removed from the other row, move next row, boost self by 3. Damage self by 2, enemies by 3. Strengthen other Skellige allies in hand, deck, and on battlefield. Give one charge to adjacent units with order. Doesn't really do anything special. Spawn 3 infantry on the right. Choose a bronze ally in your hand or on the battlefield and add 2 copies of it to your deck. Then boost all copies of the unit in hand, deck, and on the battlefield. Achievement unlocked at East Private. Let's 2 of these. Set the power of each unit on the row to the average of the row's total power. If the row average is 3 or below, destroy all units on the row, including self. Damage all units on this row by 3. Mark an ally when it is destroyed, move it to hand instead of graveyard, then destroy self. Damage units by 3, 2, 1, and then pull down. Okay. Strays of Spala. Okay, let's do 5. Okay, move 2 units with the same power to the other row on the side on their side. Let's do these 2. Achievement unlocked, dog trainer. Train your first Gascon unit. Damage all units on the row by this unit's armor amount, then lose all armor, gain 1 armor whenever a card appears in this row. Damage an enemy and all other enemies with the same power by 2. just want... two of these. Okay, this is good, I think. Okay, let's take care of things. In captivity, when the scouts returned with information that Nilfgaardian slavers had set up camp nearby, Meve let out a heavy sigh. She knew she must free her subjects, as she also knew that when threatened, the Blackclads, whips in hand, would turn those very subjects against her. Standard battle. Okay. Yeah, this is fine.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
My favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
There we go.
Hundred and 102, 103.
That will do.
You fucker. Okay. I win. First round's done. I just need to do a second one. There's that.
I'm coming.
Oh, wait.
Hundred and 52, 154.
What do you want of me?
Your life is mine now.
There we are. Okay.
mine!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Get him.
Move!
Hey?
There we are.
Nilfgaard!
Sod it. Sod it all.
Wise choice.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Order!
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Your life is mine now.
There he is.
Wait, you're serious?
There we are. S. I win.
Ah, this one's got spirit.
Haha. Told you I'd win. Okay, let's look here. Stuff on the other side. Well, let's keep going. My queen, we found a sizable store of gold under the floorboards of the dwelling. It appears someone had hidden their life savings. What shall we do with it? Leave it with the owner? Should he ever return, or load it into our wagon? Take it, better than a looter. Let's go this way. What's this? The queen is pit full of bodies. Locals claim they were murdered by Nilfgaardian forces, killed because they sought to join the army. To join your army. I'll not leave until all are buried, each according to local custom. And we got a puzzle here. A cattle conspiracy. The Lyrian force came across an abandoned farmhouse, shattered windows, traces of blood in the dirt, untended cows trampling grain. We've suspected either Nilfgaardians or bandits for reveling in the realm's chaotic state. Were to be blamed for villagers' disappearance. True culprits, however, were rather unexpected. Destroy enemy units, hint deranged cows would devour anything Swap any 2 units. Choose a unit to swap its position with another. Return turn start, gain 1 counter if this unit is consumed. Damage the consuming unit by the value of the counter. Choose a running corpse and increase this counter by 1. Let's try that again. There we are. Again. There we are. Okay. Move those two. Okay, let's try this again. If I don't get it, then I will just leave. Move these two. Damn it, I fucked up again. Destroy enemy units. Hint, range cows will devour anything. Swap any 2 units. Okay. I fucked this up again. Arrgh. Fuck it, I'm skipping this battle. It's not even an important one. I'm done. The damn deranged cows got me. Okay, let's keep going.
Broadhead now loomed before Meve and her force. Once famous for its glowing forges and clanking manufactories, the city now stood silent. Why, you might ask? Because? Mahakam. Decades past, it had opened its gates to human merchants and dwarven arms, exquisitely crafted and not nearly as dear as those made by man. The caravans had simply stopped coming to Broadhead. When its black-clad garrison spotted the Lyrians approaching, they'd hastily fled, left the city's gates open wide. Yet, they did not leave empty-handed. Their convoy comprising at least a dozen wagons loaded ostensibly to the hilt.
With what might they have fled?
With something damn heavy,
replied Gascon, squinting his eyes.
Look at this. 2 horses to pull each wagon, and the wheels cut deep into the road.
Pursue the fleeing Nilfgaardians.
What they've taken from my city,
began the Queen.
they've taken from me. And I will have it back. Follow me!
Meve spurred her horse and galloped off in pursuit of the fleeing caravan. When the Blackclads realized they had no hope of escape, they planted pikes and feet, bracing for the assault.
In pursuit of Nilfgaardians, Meve felt a pounding blow. A Nilfgaardian arrow had struck her breastplate. Fortunately, the plate proved sturdy, shattering the missile on impact and leaving the queen unharmed. Yet if the archer's aim had been true, if the arrow had struck a few inches higher, Meve broke into a cold sweat. Its truly word neared its end, but only constant vigilance could ensure her own would not be premature.
Stop! Whatever you carry belongs to me!
They gain ground! Dal Seifel!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
I smell a leak.
There we are.
Order!
Alba!
You mad?
Don't say that!
Your life is mine now.
Pays late. Again.
Wise choice.
Let's heal.
My boots got sand aplenty in them.
Bigger they are, easier they are to tag.
Pass.
Enough! I refuse to die for these scraps!
So what did they steal?
Personally, and none too gently, shackled the Nilfgaardian commander, a young nobleman with a precisely trimmed moustache. Like many noble Imperials, he spoke fluent common.
The wagons. What's in them, Captain?
Scrap, Your Majesty.
The Imperial promptly replied. Noting the Queen's confusion, he elaborated.
To be melted down and recast into arrowheads and spear tips. Our engineers originally planned to use the foundries in Broadhead, yet these proved too primitive. We were ordered to remove the scrap, take it elsewhere.
Any pride from the victory vanished in an instant, and Meve swelled with anger, but also with shame. The shame came from realizing that to the invader, her realm was naught more than a weak, underdeveloped backwater. Meve slammed the chest she'd opened shut.
Blast it! Back to Broadhead. Let's ride.
Crumbling walls, shattered windows, rotted wood. Broadhead was bleak, a dull shadow of its former self. As the Lyrians entered, the somber townsfolk glared at the arrivals and uttered not a word. Meve resolved to address the crowd.
Folk of Broadhead, you're free at last. The Nilfgaardian occupation is done.
Aye, and a new one starts now.
Are you madman? Don't you recognize our banners? The Lyrian army stands before you.
Oh, I recognise banners. Served neath them as a sergeant 15 long years. And then I came back to my hometown. Know what I found? Hardship and squalor, your grace. All had gone to shite. On account of damn dwarves. Been flooding Rivia with their metal goods for years now. Us smiths don't so much as light their pipes in their foundries no more. You call yourselves the Lyrian army. Colours and banners confirm it. Well, what about your arms? Weren't forged in us fires, but in Mahakams. By us worst foes. Hell, I even see some at knobheads in your ranks. So what freedom's it you're giving us, your grace? Freedom to beg in common? Not in Nilfgaard's mongrel tongue?
Beg? What do you want about, man?
There's no levy on goods from Mahakam. But without it, us workshops don't stand a chance. And ye, your grace, you wear their armour, bear their arms, and bring bearded bastards to our doorstep.
The dwarves are our allies.
The dwarves are faithful allies. They help us because...
'Cause they've got something to gain. Simple as that.
He's not wrong, and that's the horrible part of it.
Enough. Silence. Consider yourself lucky you've a merciful queen. I'd have had your head off by now. Move along.
Before Meve could leave the market square, Barnabas politely interjected.
Frankly speaking, there's a bit of truth to what the man says.
Oh, I know.
I'm perfectly aware of that. But what do you want?
I don't mean to toot my own horn, but perhaps I might be of some help.
Do tell how. I'm all ears.
Everything your folk make here, the dwarves of Mahakam make twice as fast and twice as well. You must find a so-called niche, an innovation. And it just so happens innovations
are your speciality.
At the risk of being immodest, exactly. Besides, it might serve the cause of peace to show the folk here, non-humans, are not all bad, that they can help, not just steal human jobs and piss in their milk.
I'll consider it, Barnabas. I shall think and let you know.
The time came to leave Broadhead, so Meve summoned her advisors, eager to hear their counsel. They put forth ideas, many of merit, but the Queen would decide the city's future.
Trust the city's future to Barnabas.
After careful deliberation, the Queen approved Barnabas's proposal. He would manage the city's ailing industry and seek to restore it to health.
Barnabas, just please, do your best not to blow it all up.
Don't you worry, Your Grace. The only boom in this town's future is that of the economic sort.
Bye, Barnabas. At least you're still in my country, though.
At first, the Rivian townsfolk were skeptical of the Queen's decision. But Barnabas's schemes bore immediate fruit. Soon, the foundries and manufactories were bustling with life. Before long, Meve herself received new goods produced there.
I'm proud of him. Oh. And my people, finally.
Now, I'm no ally of gnomes or any freaks, But this Barnabas bloke, he's not a bad apple.
Now don't you dare call him a freak. Rivians, if any in your city have spoken of Nilfgaardian victory as if it is inevitable or has dissuaded you from taking up arms, they may be an imperial spy in his scheming to conquer the north, and Emery goodness, Var Emiris has sent his venom-spitting vipers to live amongst us, poised to strike when least we expect it. Remain vigilant and beware the traitors in our midst. Milady, do you see those townfolks, the Rivian gold thieves whom you protected from the dwarves and Mahakam? They wish to repay you for the grace you showed in their time of need. They offer a share of their spoils from the mountains. Will you accept it? No, they have greater use for it. There you go. Besides, I don't need it. I have a ton of money. Okay, I need to go back around to go over here to get the loot and take care of this battle. And then we'll continue forward and up. Okay, this place first. Okay, back down we go. There's the loot, I think. Yep, and now just to go to that battle in the fort. More loot. Behold, I leave you a small gift with which should ease the fort's recapture from the Nilfgaardians. Do not delay the attack. The queen will soon reach the border. By striking from the rear, we can spare the burden on her troops. Hasten their march from the capital. Rivia has life in it yet. P.S. Secure the hideout's entrance. I don't believe the Blackclads are on our trail, but Militale protects those who protect themselves. Oh, those poor people. Battle. Night Watch. Sergeant Gwendolyn Gwendol? I don't know. Of the 6th Gesso Infantry Regiment was impatient to finish his duty on watch. He first planned to empty his bladder, then wished to empty his bottle of Temerian hooch hidden under his bunk. Unfortunately, he hadn't the time to fulfill either desire. Upon seeing the torches of the approaching Lyrian forces, he sounded the alarm. Sure.
New orders? No? Ah.
Go, hop, hop.
Left, right, left, right.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Should have listened to me, old lady.
There we are. This guy. There you are. Pull him back. Knickers! This is fine, we can pass. Won the first round. On to the second one. This is fine.
Hey?
Now, how did that incantation go?
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Order!
Gonna need 3 buckets of nails and a tub full of pegs.
I smell a leak.
Claw and cats out!
There we are.
Arbalista, your command.
Your life is mine now.
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Wise choice.
Got a death wish?
Quiet, or the commissar will hear.
Okay.
My favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
Rach! Scheiß! In tray!
Her Majesty is exceptional.
Gotta pass, but I'm gonna win anyway.
Hail cats out!
Yep. I win! Let's get all these supplies. How come I can't get... Okay, it's over here. That's why. Okay, let's leave. Gonna head this way.
The wind howls like a ghastly apparition.
Well, there could be one hiding in the mist. And in the rain. Let's keep going. Get another shrine there. Okay, we don't have much left to go. Workforce. Once General Abdahi seized Rivia, he ordered an immediate census of the conquered population. At first, many thought the Nilfgaardian had planned to raise taxes, but the truth was in fact much worse. Before long, villages and settlements were visited by slave drivers. There was no hiding from them. They knew of every soul living there. Eliminate the slave drivers. Do not let any unit die. Use your leader's ability. Okay. Course leaf. Mark a unit after 3 turns. On turn start, switch its power to that unit's power. Boost this unit by 5. Can charge. Give a charge to the unit in this card. Boost an ally by 4 and give it +1 armor, then trigger all allies' loyal abilities.
See if he's hid any coin in his pockets, or his holes.
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
Life had me ploughed, now here I'm marching proud.
Shit. Have to restart.
Stick 'em up, high as the clouds, now!
My spirit's willing and how, but these damn boots are killing me.
Left, right, left. What now?
You can pay the toll in one of 2 ways. In silver or in blood.
God damn it. Give a charge to the card on the right.
Aye.
You might have got away had you not been hauling so damn much.
If anyone asks, you've not seen me.
Life had me ploughed, now here I'm marching proud.
There's been a mistake. I'm no mage.
There we are. Boost an ally by 4 and give it +1 armor, then trigger all loyal allies' abilities on cooldown.
Left, right, left.
What now?
Fuck it, I'm skipping. Only a little longer, and then we will be probably fighting our son in the field of battle. Let's see what's over here, if anything. If not, I'm gonna go to the shrine really quick. Grab these supplies. Prevents those who would consider aiding the enemy in the hope of earning their goodwill. May you learn from the fate of Count Caldwell. He was the first to accept the Emperor's leash around his neck and desired a mountain of gold in return, yet he was instead granted a putrid swamp. He thought himself the Nilfgaardians' equal, yet they despised him. He dreamed of glory everlasting, yet died like hog. Covered in muck and grime, do not follow in his footsteps, for you would share his fate. Your Majesty, the priestess who cares for this temple has in her possession a fragment of a magical object. It could prove useful to us, yet she refuses to part with it, no matter the generosity of our offer. What shall we do? Nonsense, everyone has a price. Pay whatever she demands. Dragon's Dream. It's now available in the command tent.
Seems our journey nears its end.
That end could yet prove tragic. We've daunting tasks ahead. Pride.
Yeah, we do.
It's all I ever felt pondering those walls. Yet now, to behold them from below, I truly do wish we hadn't built them so tall.
Well, at least we have good morale. Let's go see what fate awaits us.
The castle of Rivia now loomed before the Lyrians. Water surrounded it on 3 sides, and dual defensive walls studded with podgy turrets completed its perimeter. It was famously difficult to take, and had changed hands only once, a few months before, when traitors opened its gates to the Nilfgaardians. Foreign banners waved upon the walls. The Golden Sun and General Epdahi's crest on Rivia's walls, the walls of home. There was somber silence among the troops, the glee and pride of many triumphs suddenly gone. For each knew if the Queen ordered an assault, most would lie dead by sunrise.
Your Majesty,
began Reynard in a reassuring tone.
We needn't strike quickly. We've time on our side. To prepare would be wise. 2 months, I wager, perfectly enough. We stop supplies from getting through. They'll capitulate, I've little doubt. Or at worst, be too weak to defend the fortress.
Reynard's reasoning was sound. There was no need for urgency. Meve had the upper hand for the first time in this war.
Withdraw.
Let Epdahi wait,
said Meve, her eyes trained on the citadel.
Let him watch from those walls as we reclaim our realm, village by village, town by town. Follow me!
Meve turned her back to the castle, eager to take the fight elsewhere.
Really? I could actually just walk away from here from now? Yeah, well... I'm ready.
Meve had returned to the foot of Rivia Castle. Tense and silent, her troops awaited her command.
They siege cut off
These
the castle.
invaders have grown fond of Rivia Castle,
said Meve.
so let them stay and rot. Reynard, Erect road barricades and guard posts between city and citadel. Gascon, seize all boats, barges, anything that floats. Stop anything from entering from the lake. Move!
Soon, Rivia Castle stood isolated from the world outside its walls. All roads leading to it were blocked, impassable. Fishing boats, a cordon, embraced the fortress on Loch Escalot. The lanterns on their bows glowed like fireflies in summer. Then, an emissary from the castle brought a message for the Queen. General Epdahi wished to meet, face to face, and half the way between the citadel and the Lyrian camp.
Well, well, some general,
Smirked Gascon.
We've barely snapped the trap shut, yet he's already shaking in his knickers.
Meve proceeded to the meeting point without delay. A lone rider soon appeared on the horizon. He came adorned in rich black robes, their golden trim shimmering in stray sunbeams. She'd seen him before, in Edirn, through the megascope.
Hello, Abdahi.
You came as I requested. Good. Very good.
I couldn't possibly refuse such a courteous invitation, especially as compared to your previous missive. The art of diplomacy, you've improved your grasp.
But I could say the same of you. I was surprised, no, impressed, that you didn't have my messenger flogged, then beheaded. But please, we must set aside this bitterness. I'd like to formally welcome you to Rivia, dear Queen.
Yeah, right.
I see you've readily adopted the role of gracious host in my home.
In point of fact, I've grown fond of the castle. Fortifications impressive, atypical of the north. Not so your brave soldiers, whom we shall pick off like ducks. I pity them, in fact.
Dry your eyes, General. Rest easy. I've no plans for a quick assault. I shall first wait to hear the rumbling in your bellies.
Remarkable. You truly believe you can win this war? I've not been in the north long, but have discovered something all the same. You don't grasp complex ideas. You know Nilfgaard is large, but your minds don't fathom its enormity. You see, for every army you defeat, another will come to take its place. One larger and better equipped than the one before. Even now, as we so pleasantly chat, Army Group East is en route to lift your siege.
I figured as much.
Due to arrive tomorrow. And do you know what will happen when they do? They will crush you against your own castle's walls, like the maddening flea you are.
Get to the point, what do you want?
A charming analogy, but get to the point. Why'd you ask for this meeting?
To kill me?
For this very reason. I wish to see you with my own eyes.
They did not see enough in Edirn? Are you such an admirer of feminine beauty?
You flatter yourself. No, in you, I see an animal. Game. Prey. And as the hunt's due to start soon, I needed a more detailed image of the beast I'll be looking for.
You? On a hunt? Those delicate hands have never held spear or bow. Nout sharper than a letter opener, I wager. Tomorrow you will not be on a hunt. Tomorrow you will be at war. You best pray to all your gods you don't find me.
Without awaiting a response from General Epdahi, Meve pivoted and turned toward camp. Her pace was quick, despite a heavy heart.
Well, the sexism was strong in that one. Knickers? Knickers, Bobby! What am I doing? Where...
Gonna be one hell of a night! Ah! Ah! Ah!
Okay.
Always darkest before the dawn.
Hi, Knickers, baby. Well, here goes nothing.
Meave's closest advisors already awaited her in the command tent. In a few brief words, the Queen gave a report of the meeting, only with great effort masking the quavering in her voice.
An army, an immense one, approaches from the west. If we meet in open battle, we stand not a chance.
Damn it! Why did no one warn me?
Our scouts were discovered. Captured. It must be that.
We must flee? Not at all heroic, I admit, but sure as hell better than being trampled into the dirt.
True.
Easily said, but for a problem. Our force is chiefly infantry. The army that draws near includes cavalry, several regiments. We cannot hope to escape them. We cannot hope to hide.
What do you advise?
We've two options. Capitulate,
Out of the question.
or take the castle. Tonight.
What are the costs?
Suppose for a moment it's possible. Tell me how and at what cost. Are we to scale a mountain of comrades' corpses to reach the top of the wall? I know we're at war and many die, but to command our troops to take that citadel is to condemn them to certain death.
This is gonna suck.
Rivia's walls are unassailable, I fully agree. But there's more than one way to take any fort, and this fort too.
There's always a back door.
I think I like where this is going.
Me too, Gascon.
I know this citadel like no one else. I know its one potential weakness. The boat landing.
Wait, that narrowest of piers between the two turrets? The one where the fishermen would land?
The same. As I'm sure you recall, Your Grace, at that narrow pier's end stands a narrow door leading straight into the fortress. A small detachment could approach unnoticed, overwhelm any sentries, and get inside.
What then?
They would need to pass through the fort to the winch in the guardhouse, open the gate for the rest of the force.
Reynard, I'll be honest. It sounds right mad.
Perhaps, but as options go, we have it alone.
And I'm to choose to send folk there? Most certainly to die.
You needn't choose anyone, for I volunteer, and will take only those willing to do the very same.
Reynard!
Bloody wretched plan.
And you've a better one, do you?
Of course.
Oh, God.
I'll go instead.
Oh, God.
Beg your pardon? I don't.
Why? Oh, my God. My two best
Face
boys.
it, Reynard, you couldn't sneak past a corpse. Sound like a bloody tambourine in that armour. Apart from which, you're Maeve's right hand. So you ought to be by her side when the fighting starts.
Gascon is the man for the task.
Firstly, Reynard, I'm grateful. Well done, my friend.
Thank you, Your Grace.
But truth be told, I did indeed hear you walking to the tent from the other side of camp.
Oh, God.
And yes, you know Rivia Castle better than anyone else. But the assault must transpire silently. Gascon will lead the force.
Understood, Your Grace.
Cheers, Maeve. I'll try not to disappoint.
You won't, I'm sure.
Just don't
God
die.
speed you on your way, and please, try your damnedest not to die.
Good.
Gascon hand-picked his men, those most adept with daggers, not swords. Noiselessly, they glided through the dark toward the castle, the light of its lanterns blurred by the evening mist. Maeve watched anxiously as the boats glided away, her heart pounding in her ears. All depended on this mission. The fate of her realms, perhaps all the north. The lives of her troops. and her own. Now there was naught she could do but wait.
Good luck,
she whispered, gazing at the fortress walls, cloaked by the dark that seemed to surround all now. The Lyrians prepared for battle, their silence absolute, in darkness, illuminated only by the pale light of the moon. Meve was restless. She paced nervously in a circular pattern, awaiting the signal they'd agreed upon.
Blast, it's taking long. Much, much too long.
Finally, a torch's faint glow appeared atop the towering walls. It disappeared, then glowed again, and one more time around. Meve leapt in the air, and as she did so, barely stifled a cry of utter joy.
They made it! It worked!
Moments later, Lyrians in the hundreds burst from the trees. The Nilfgaardian defenders loaded their catapults and ballistae. They did so slowly, convinced the castle walls remained impenetrable. Then they heard chains, grinding and clinking, and the sound sent shivers down their spines. Bewildered, they watched the main gate rise as the attacking force rushed forth. General Epdahi dispatched an elite unit to take back the winch at once. Yet he saw this was in vain and all was lost when Meve rode into the castle courtyard.
Hello, General.
Meve had begun the day known as a great warrior. Yet by night's end, legend was the cloak she wore. Her shield stopped powerful blow after blow as her blade found gaps in her foe's black armor. At first, Nilfgaardians scoured the fray in search of the Queen, hoping to prove great heroes. Soon, she was their chief scourge, and they began to flee before her blade that sung their death.
Retreat! Retreat!
What was this extraordinary vigor that surged through Meve? Naturally, she wished to liberate her castle and realm, drive off the invaders, defeat the arrogant General Epdahi. But in that moment, above all else, she longed to fight her way through to the guardhouse and bring Gascon's party relief.
Follow me! Move! Move!
Good.
Meve had expected
Please
the worst.
save them.
A bloodbath, piles of corpses. Yet all in the guardhouse was eerily quiet and calm. The door to the winch room lay shattered, true, but this was the one sign there'd been any sort of struggle. What happened here? She thought. Cautiously, she entered, looking, searching for any trace of Gascon and his fighters. Instead, she spotted Willem, curled up in a corner, clutching his bloodied belly, his fingers not enough to stop all the holes. Meve tore off her cloak and went to stem the bleeding.
Willem, what happened here?
My wrongs. I sought to right them.
Wheezed the prince.
Please, forgive me.
The young prince choked on this last word, did not manage to utter it, before his eyes went dull. Moments later, her men entered the room to find the queen kneeling, pounding the wall with her fists, her eyes flooded with tears. Willem lay motionless beside her, covered by her cloak. Gascon pushed his way through the other foot soldiers. He knelt beside the queen and whispered what had happened. His unit had not managed to reach the gate in time, but Willem had. Upon seeing Lyrian forces converging on the fort, the prince had rushed to the guardhouse and opened the gate himself. By the time Nilfgaardians closed it again, it was too late. The Lyrians were through. The queen rose, her fists clenched, her shoulders rigid, her knuckles white. Her face betrayed no sorrow, no despair, just rage, hot as a forge, immeasurable.
Now's not the time to mourn.
Seethed Meve, struggling to stay calm.
Now's the time for war, for slaughter, revenge. With victory today, we'll recover our home. return to our kin and set our blades aside at last. Yet until victory is ours, they must drink. Drink greedily of Nilfgaardian blood!
The Lyrians were at the brink, near their breaking point. They'd followed me for thousands of miles, over snow-clad peaks, through forbidding swamps. They'd fought, survived countless battles at her side, and though their gazes were now weary, she knew they'd follow her into fire.
Your Grace, the Blackclads, they've holed themselves up in the upper keep. We went to breach the wall, alas to no avail.
Meve nodded, twirled her sword, then leapt upon a mount. Her eyes spoke pure determination.
So we'll bloody well try again.
I can't believe he did that. I'm proud of him, though. The upper keep. The walls of the upper keep are illuminated by torchlight and the glow of the burning buildings. Even in the dark of night, Meve could easily discern the fair, twisted faces of the Nilfgaardian defenders. The queen wiped tears from her cheeks, blackened with ash, and reached for her sword. The time had finally come to drive the Blackclads out, once and for all.
This is the end, Ebdahi. Do you hear me? I shall stick your head on a pike!
We got this.
Watch your heads!
I'll relieve you of that pouch.
Army's a waste of time for one like me.
There's a time to reap, a time
Coin
to
never
sow.
stinks, no matter how rank the pouch.
Cursed traitors.
I must thank you. Your fortress has superbly solid walls. Archers, let it be night. Obscure the sun with arrows.
There we are.
Enough! I do not need to hear this. Kill her!
Catch!
Have some fire.
Retreat!
Got a death wish?
There we are. Pass. I won the first round.
I'm surrounded by fools!
Okay.
Warum?
I smell a leak.
Trouvé, ni gloire! We got a job to do. I'm coming, I'm coming.
Already at 92.
Doubt I'll ever pay off these school loans.
Gloire and cast down!
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Off to the front yet again.
There you go.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
There we are.
We must trust each other.
That was not in the spell books. My favourite cut of lamb? The shank.
There we are. I have to pass.
Quiet, or the Commissar will hear. Brach! Scheiß! In Train!
Egreto dum anima est, spes est.
Come on, fire. Keep going.
I warned you.
This is nerve-wracking looking at.
My prescription.
Come on,
a bit of
please.
bloodletting.
I won! Oh my god!
Tell me where!
Holy shit!
Nilfgaard had the upper hand, yet the black-clad spirits had suffered. They now made more use of shields than of swords. When Meve finally broke through their line, they raised their arms in surrender. Rivia Castle had fallen. It was hers once more.
Trocker! Nein zu Wien!
Meve showed her prisoners of war mercy, knowing full well they'd only followed orders. Death would be the fate of only Ardal ep Dahi, the one Nilfgaardian who'd issued those commands. Alas, the general had disappeared. A prisoner revealed ep Dahi had fled as soon as the Lyrians had surged towards the upper keep. He had glided down to the lower castle in a wicker basket for transporting food.
Oh my
Curled
god.
up beneath potato skins and other scraps, he'd scurried away not unlike a common maggot.
What a coward.
Meve cursed her luck and leaned back against a merlin. Dawn was yet a few hours off, but the horizon had already begun to glow blood red. The Nilfgaardian reserves now drew near, too late to prevent the castle's fall.
I'll get him,
muttered the queen, more to herself than anyone else.
I swear on all that's sacred I'll catch the bastard. But now we've a pressing matter to see to. Preparing the defense.
That night the war turned, with the battle for Rivia Castle as its fulcrum. Meve's great victory, not only retaking the stronghold in a single evening, but also fending off a further invading army, proved the Nilfgaardian Colossus had feet of clay.
Achievement unlocked. There's no place like
The
home.
armies of the north had united and now seemed to be on the attack everywhere. Imperial forces, while still far more numerous, lay stretched over thousands of miles. Their position was untenable, and Nilfgaard's commanders knew this. In a decisive battle, they yet stood a chance, so they gave said battle, and suffered a resounding defeat. Just a few months on from that memorable night in Rivia, the Imperial army was in utter disarray. Aldersburg, the fortress, remained a last point of resistance. General ep Dahi and what had survived of Army Group East had dug in there. This place, where Nilfgaard had triumphed grandly in the war's early days, would now bear witness to its impending defeat. It seems history, after all, has a sense of justice, or humor, or both. Though Meve had already reclaimed her realm, she refused to retire her sword just yet. For King Demavend had requested her aid in purging Edirn of the invader. How could she refuse? She owed the king a favor, firstly. Yet she also had a burning desire to settle the score with Epdahi.
Demavend's envoy and I spoke, Your Majesty. The king has Aldersburg surrounded. He awaits and won't begin the assault till you arrive.
Good. I truly hate to miss it. Tell the troops to prepare. Gear and ire.
Of course, Your Grace.
Yes? Is there something else?
Pardon my boldness, Your Grace, but I can't help but be concerned. You don't sleep. You have the air of illness about you.
Reynard, I just buried my son, who died in my arms, goddammit.
Yes. Died a hero. Your Majesty, I wasn't sure Willem could ever wash away the shame. He'd betrayed his country, his mother, aligned with the fiercest of our foes. But his actions in Rivia washed away his wrongs. Willem showed himself worthy to be called your son. I don't say any of this to deepen your grief, Your Majesty. I mean merely for you to be proud of him.
You're right, Reynard. Thank you.
You're right. I thank you, Reynard. That I needed to hear. We've talked enough. We must march on to Aldersburg.
Well, I thought we were going to end, but we're still going somehow. I can't believe this. Oh, I'm going to read this real quick, and then I think we're going to be done. Report, Eridan. Enemy armies in tatters fleeing south toward border. Movements chaotic. Uncoordinated. Suggested no contact with command. Squad commandos also in retreat to east towards Dalblathana without Nilfgaardian support. Elves slaughtered by Eridanians whenever caught. Emperor prepared for peace summit. Reports indicate willingness to make far-reaching concessions. Last bastion of enemy resistance. Fortress in Alderburg. Remaining troops guarding it, led by General Abdahi. He refuses all calls to capitulate. Your Highness, we deeply regret to inform you that Captain Tobias, who provided us with invaluable information from the Nilfgaardian-occupied capital, was unmasked and beheaded after 3 days of intensive torture. While leaving the city, the invaders took with them his family, a wife and 2 children, 12 and 7 years of age. Their fate remains unknown. Damn it! Battle of Brenna. Your Majesty, good tidings from the Western Front. The combined forces Temeria, Cadwin, and Redania have soundly defeated the Nilfgaardians at Brenna. The Empire lost nearly 40,000 soldiers, and Marshal Cohorn has vanished without a trace. Army Group Center is in disarray, and King Foltest is forcing the enemy from Temerian lands. The Emperor has expressed readiness for truce negotiations. Victory is close at hand.
Look, 'tis Meve, slayer of the Blacklands! Long live the Queen!
This feels so very happy and insanely sad all at the same time for me, and I hate and love it. To all soldiers in service to the Nilfgaardian Empire are hereby ordered to promptly head to Aldersburg. The defense of this castle is vital for our planned counter-offensive. Failure to comply with this order will result in punishment of particular severity. General Abdahi. Okay, I guess we're in for one last battle.
The Lyrian army had grown into a great serpent. So much so that riding at the column's tail, Meve could not see its head. Footmen, cavalry, and archers stretched like a glistening snake between 2 horizons. Meve had come a long way indeed, and she felt proud.
Good.
Suddenly, Meve heard angry cries and the clash of steel against steel, all at the column's front.
Those ranks! To the left! Man's left! Support the flank!
Meve drew her sword, spurred her horse, and galloped forward along the line of troops. Then, through the swirling battle dust, she spotted shimmering golden suns.
Here we go. Nilfgaardian survivors. Meve drew her sword, yet did not rush headlong into the heat of battle as she once would have. Old wounds and lasting traumas still nagged her, and besides, enough blood had already been spilt. The queen awaited the day when she could finally exchange her heavy armor for an elegant dress and her saddle for a throne. This is so sad. This is fine.
Surround them!
New orders? No? Ah.
Aye.
Wrong button, sorry.
This could hurt.
There we are.
Must be an important lesson in this. But what?
Knickers! Good boy. Good.
101, 102, 103.
Okay, fire guy goes out again.
152, 154.
Okay, let's place this
I'll
guy.
relieve you of that pouch.
Here we are.
In retreat!
Put that there. Heal.
Nilfgaard!
There we are. Place this
That
guy.
hit the white of an eye from half a league away.
In retreat!
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Pass.
Mercy! Have mercy!
We won.
Normally disciplined, determined to an extreme, these Nilfgaardians quickly broke rank and ran.
Deserters! Leaderless, Your Grace.
A scout reported.
Headed south they was, towards the frontier.
Chained prisoners now sat along the dusty road. Meve stopped in front of one. He was ragged and unshaven. Flies had taken an interest in his poorly bandaged hand. Spotting the queen, he lowered his head and quivered with terror.
Abdahi?
I know you take us for savages,
Began Meve, her gaze passing over several scraggy black clads.
but fear not. We shan't flay you alive nor eat you for dinner. And when a truce is signed, you'll be sent home, where I most sincerely hope you'll stay this time.
As the queen mounted her horse, she barely concealed a grimace. Her thighs were sore and chafed, her hands raw from the reins. but she bit her lip and rode on, for the prize was now very near.
We're so very close to Abdahi, and we will finally get our vengeance. For our poor son. Well, let's keep going.
Was in Aldersburg when it fell. Broke my heart, that did. But not complete. Now we'll take it back.
All this loot, and I have too much of it, honestly. How does one get back there? Okay.
Meave was listening to a scout's report when screams suddenly burst from the prisoner transport. In a moment, Meave bore witness to a truly macabre sight. The Nilfgaardian captives, to whom she had recently been merciful, lay dead, massacred in cold blood among the camp's tents.
What happened?
Blast it all.
Sighed the queen, looking at the bloodied corpses. Those responsible for the deed, peasants from the quarry at Ravencloft, Meave had welcomed into her ranks. The harm they'd endured from Nilfgaardians wielding whips, this was what had festered in their hearts and minds. The Rivians couldn't accept that their oppressors had gone unpunished. So they took matters into their own hands, in defiance of the queen.
There's fiends, not folk,
cried the peasants, now armed and in uniform.
There was owed this, plain and simple.
It had been justice by a mob, and Meave knew it should not go unpunished. Yet at the last, ignoring her advisor's counsel, she left the former slaves' fate for their commanders to decide. For the queen had grown weary of choosing between two evils, each one darker than the other.
I agree. It's been a long road of this. Let's keep walking around.
Long live Meave! Long live the Queen! Long live a liberator!
That's very sweet of them, I guess. Still can't believe that Willem actually helped and wasn't a coward to his end. I'm impressed. The war nears its end and the Blackclads flee with tails between their legs. Time has come to raise our homeland from the ash and rubble. To those who yet live, take up hammer, saw, and axe, roll up your sleeves and set to work. The nation is building its home.
Meave noticed one of her scouts, a certain Corporal Larkin, halt his mount and train his gaze on the woods.
Your Grace, I thought I heard something, could have sworn. A whisper, maybe, but... nothing now. It's all gone quiet. I think I might have imagined it, in fact.
Imagined?
Meave placed her hand on his shoulder.
No one has sharper senses than you. If you claim to have heard something, it's worth a closer look.
Corporal Larkin saluted, then rode past the trees. Suddenly in shadow, he keenly scanned his surroundings. Something caught his attention. He dismounted, then brushed aside ferns, exposing tracks made in the mud.
Your Majesty!
He shouted, quickly turning towards the road.
Sound the alarm! It's squirt!
An arrow whisked through the air, pierced his throat, and suddenly silenced him.
No!
Then the forest came alive with cries in the Elder tongue.
Of course.
Elves on the attack.
Fucking Scoia'tael. Battle for naught, Meave cursed under her breath. Did Scoia'tael hatred know no bounds? The war had already been lost. Nilfgaard, who had supported their cause against the northern kingdoms, had retreated beyond the Yaruga, but attacking the Queen's army, the elves must have known they stood nothing to gain. This is other than the heads of enemy Dwan. That is other than the heads of enemy Dwan. None of these are particularly easy or good.
To arms!
Got business for me?
One bolt I need.
Okay. There we are.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
Ours is not to reason why.
There we are.
None shall tread on us!
No time for that!
Now we will see who is weak!
This guy.
Cut a lamb? The shank.
Oh my.
There we are. Knickers! Yes.
Renna! Stop! We surrender!
Stupid Scoia'tael.
The Scoia'tael fighters stood no chance against Meve. When the sounds of battle finally ceased, the Queen, victorious, tossed aside her arrow-studded shield. She then ordered the commando's leader brought before her. She'd expected a ranter who would turn up his nose, spit in her face, and cry, "Death to all Dwan!" But the bloodied elf before her was no arrogant firebrand. He averted his gaze, and his lips gently trembled.
The hell?
Youthful you look, elf. How many summers to you? 30? More?
27, my lady.
27. A wonderful age. A shame to die so young.
I beg you, Renna. For mercy, I ask. If not for me, then at the least for...
Mercy? You jest. You wait in ambush, come at us like bandits, and now you dare ask for mercy.
It was no ambush.
Don't play me for a fool. I know what I saw, and am no stranger to warcraft.
It's not you we wished to fight. Sverre.
Then who killed Corporal Larkin, Werebubs?
When we saw you on the high road, we fell back and hid in the wood. We wanted you to pass. Your scout's hearing very keen. He heard something, then spotted our tracks. You must understand. We had no choice.
You might have
You
surrendered.
might have surrendered.
Like Dristan's commando. Is that what you mean? They laid down their arms before an Edirnian general, who ordered them hanged. One and all. If we're to die, we prefer to die bows and swords in hand.
Why are you here? Were you to rescue Ebdahi?
Rescue someone? No, Renna. We flee.
You're fleeing.
The Nilfgaardians have realized they'll lose the war and have renounced us. Without their support, we stand no chance. Demavend has loosed his hounds. They hunt our units one by one. He's offered 50 gold pieces for the head of each Scoia'tael. It's the same in Temeria and Kedwen, if not worse. We wish to join with Yorveth's unit, flee together as far as we could.
Yorveth!
It was our last hope.
Why do you tell me all this?
Because you listen still. You've not ordered me killed, so you've clearly a heart. Eseth Aina Edu. I beg you. So few of us remain. All tired, all wounded. We pose no threat. Let us leave your realm. Let us flee.
Very well, you may go.
Enough senseless killing for one day. So be it. You're free to leave.
I don't know how to thank you.
Make certain I don't ever regret this decision. 'Twould be thanks enough.
I thank you for your compassion towards me and all my folk.
Meve personally unfastened the prisoner's chains as her Lyrians looked on in silence. They did not approve, this was clear. Their displeasure was palpable.
And yet, I'm the one that led them to victory with all of this bullshit. I don't want to hear someone being whiny bitch about shit situation. I need to go back here and look around really quickly, and then I'll go forward over this bridge.
The good mother's guided you to victory.
New cemetery, one of many that have appeared in the area. Most of the dead have not been identified, their graves unnamed. Our soldiers have requested that we light candles in their honor. Are you willing to set aside a sum for this purpose? A sum from our coffers for this purpose, your grace? Yes, without a shade of doubt. Of course, that'd be horrible not to. Milady, as you can see, the residents of Adernia are giving their every effort to rebuild their ruined homes. Yet they lack the proper materials. They ask if you would be willing to trade lumber in exchange for items they've scavenged from nearby battlefields. What shall I tell them? Give them our wood and add some gold for good measure. Okay, now let's keep going. Master Nilfgaardians, the time when you could demand, require, and expect has come to an end. My payment is non-negotiable, not the amount nor the currency. Your florins are now worth less than Sindarian coppers. I give you until tomorrow. After that, safe passage to the border will no longer be possible due to Queen Maeve's approach from the south. Achievement unlocked. Burn after reading. Read all spy master letters. Letter from Commando Leader. Translated from Elder Speech. Fingilla? Now, Nilfgaard has betrayed us. They've told the Nordlings our position exposed all our hideouts. The peace treaty will contain no guarantee of amnesty for those surrendering arms. You know what that means. We must flee the northern realms. Take your entire commando to the agreed upon location as fast as you can. I will wait a week, then move east. Yorveth.
We're building all anew. Treat yourself to our new view.
for a better future through and through.
It's a cute little song.
Fresh eggs for sale!
Sausage, cheese, milk, exotic silks.
Berries and grains expel without a strain.
As ever, the market in Harmelan bustled with life. Though that particular day, Meve was earnestly surprised at the sight. For just months before, Nilfgaard had levelled the city. Harmelan's rebirth was now well underway. Folk hammered and sawed, and the scent of fresh mortar filled the air as the city rose from its ashes. In spite of the chaos, the mayor recognized the queen. He rushed over to greet his illustrious guest.
All this must cost a veritable fortune. Where did you get the coin, good man?
It's a loan. Altogether unbelievable. A vast sum at a very low rate. To be repaid a century down the line.
My. A banker with deep pockets and a generous spirit. Droll, I'd say, if I wasn't eager to meet him.
Nothing simpler, Your Grace. He lives in a house on the market square.
Intrigued, the queen asked to meet the mysterious financier. And who should come out to greet her, if not Mirko Vidmar? When last they'd met, Meve had helped the dwarf to raise the funds for his enterprise.
I cannot believe my eyes.
Holy
my
shit.
royal benefactor. Didn't just stand there. Come in.
The bank was a frantic flurry of activity. Papers rustled, coins clinked, and stamps slammed the countertops.
You gave the city a loan, I heard. Preferential, to say the least. An entire century to repay it.
What's the rush? Fact is, I enjoy seeing them work. The progress they make, it's mental. Every last one of them builds what he wants. In Mahakam, we'd spend a year debating whether to pound a nail 9 times or 10.
The Queen and Mirko shared a sumptuous dinner. They toasted his success, and she set off once more. The following morn, the quartermaster approached. A vexed grin on his face, he reported the news. Soldiers had found a chest in one of the wagons. When opened, it proved to be brimming with gold. None could say for certain whence it had come, but Meve had her suspicions.
Well, thank you, Mirko. It's good to see you, man.
Master Mirko advises against taking on any credit in Kaviri Marks or Pavisian Byzant. No profit to be had.
Smart man, I guess. I'd take his advice. Let's keep going.
It'd be an honor to fight at your side, Majesty.
Thank you. We're already here. Well, here goes nothing.
The Lyrian corps neared Aldersburg, and it could not have been on a more idyllic day. The sun shone, birds sang, trees rustled in a light breeze. But Meve saw it as she had at the war's start. Walls illumined by a fire's glow, the cries of fleeing civilians, the stench of burning flesh. As on that day, Aldersburg was under siege. Yet this time, Eden's flags fluttered in the field, while Nilfgaard's tattered sons crowned the fort's towers. The Queen found Demoven's tent without difficulty. Made of sheets of silk edged with silver thread, it positively shone.
Seems the realm's restored to a virtuous path,
muttered Meve.
Aha! There she is! Queen Meve, savior of the North.
No thanks to you.
The Sun Slayer.
Mockery I don't appreciate.
I wouldn't dare. Not my words, those. You've been painted thus in song. Master Dandelion himself wrote a ballad, The Battle for the Bridge. If you take the bard at his word, you're as fierce with a blade as any witcher.
Is that jealousy I hear?
To be perfectly honest, Meve, it is. For I hadn't the pluck nor resolve. And when all the North tucked tail, went to shite, you alone stepped up and bared your fangs. Let it be a lesson for the future to us all.
Well, never send a man to do a woman's job. And your son, how is he?
You called out the future. Tell me, how's your son?
Baldwin. Ah, growing like a weed he is. And the spitting image of his old man.
Good news all, especially given the mother's profession.
She's now Countess Demeretta of Gullet, a lady of the court.
Of course she is.
Oh, your lawful wife must be thrilled.
I bet she is.
Hard to say in truth. I've not seen her in some time. Duty keeps me away, you understand.
More like cowardice.
You work hard, I'm certain. Many a night, too.
You might say so indeed. But enough about me. As we're chirping away like two gossips in the field, do tell me, what a villain.
He perished in the assault on Rivia Castle.
Oh my. Fighting for which side?
The right one. Demavend, the wound is fresh, the pain immense. I'd rather we not speak of it.
For the future, what do you want about?
A lesson for the future? What do you mean?
My dear, this war won't change a bloody thing, you know. Nilfgaard will be Nilfgaard, the North the North. We'll sign a truce, the Blackclads will turn tail towards home, but the old borders don't satisfy us soul.
I'm perfectly satisfied with them, thank you. And I just wish other folk would respect them too.
Eve. You're one hell of a warrior, but you're no strategist at all. Your perspective, you've got to broaden it. Nilfgaard, we cannot allow it to regain strength and spirit, else we'll face another invasion within a decade or two. Measures are required. Preventive, preemptive, whatever the learned call it. Build an army, a vast one, wait in ambush, and when they least expect it, break their bloody spine. Just think, if we were to join forces...
Oh god, I don't want to fight any more wars.
I don't wish to hear it. Won't even entertain the thought. I'll help you take Aldersburg, but then I'll go home, where, God's willing, I'll live to a ripe old age.
As you wish. We can mount the assault at any time, but...
But?
My scouts report a small Nilfgaardian force approaching from the south. They've stayed off the roads, moved only under the cover of night, escorting someone.
Who?
I've no notion. Could be a mage. Devilishly unpredictable, that lot. Could wreak havoc in our ranks. Either way, before we rush at the walls, we must make certain they don't reach Aldersburg at all.
I shall see to it.
Are you sure? You've just arrived. Must be weary after the long journey.
An understatement if I ever heard one. But I wish all this to be over, quickly.
Neve set out after the Nilfgaardians immediately, a cavalry escort in tow. Her unmatched scouts, who had led the army through the mountains of Mahakam and Angren swamps, quickly found the enemy's trail.
This way, Your Grace. There's not far now.
That very same day, Meave's force caught up to the mysterious black-clad unit. Lyrian riders surrounded the foe, forcing the Nilfgaardians to halt. All fell so quiet, the creaking of taut Lyrian bowstrings could be discerned.
The common tongue. Which of you knows it?
I do, Your Majesty.
You also know who you deal with, I see.
Lovely.
What's your name?
Kaldvin, Your Majesty.
At last. A Nilfgaardian name I can pronounce. So, Kaldwin. It seems this war will reach its end in 2 days' time at the most. 'Twould be silly to die today, wouldn't you agree?
It would, milady.
Precisely. I've spilled enough blood. I've lost the appetite for more. So, provided you don't give me a good reason to kill you, you'll walk away with your lives. Now tell me, You carry something for General Ebdahi. What is it?
A letter.
What is it for? From whom, if I
Urgent
may?
to the point of insanity, it must be. Who wrote it? The dear Madam Ebdahi?
No, Your Majesty. The Emperor.
What?
My. A letter from Emir himself. You must be an important person. A noble, or... Yet your uniform is simple, with no discernible distinctions. Who are you truly, Coldwyn? A spy?
A simple messenger, Your Majesty.
Don't lie. I know messengers, how they travel. Alone, armorless, atop a swift steed. You're escorted by cavalry of the heavy sort.
For I often carry orders the recipients don't wish to perform, thus the escort.
Give me this letter.
Give me the letter.
I've sworn to deliver it to General Ebdahi, or to die in the quest to do so.
Oh, very well. My translator shall read this letter, then return it to you. You shall break no vow, and who knows? You might even survive.
And if I refuse?
Guess.
So be it. I accept your offer.
Wise man.
Meave's translator cracked the seal and read. And as he read, his eyes grew wide as saucers. Then he whispered in the Queen's ear.
Truly. And you're certain you're not mistaken. The wonders of this world.
What is happening?
Coldwyn, consider this your lucky day. I allow you to complete your mission, with one proviso.
And that is?
That when you hand him the letter, you will give the General my regards.
As Caldwyn and escort set off towards Aldersburg, the Lyrian soldiers looked at their queen with disbelief. To leave a Nilfgaardian to fulfill a secretive task. Meave failed to stifle a rather mean laugh. They'll understand tomorrow, she thought. General Ebdahi had prefaced Lyria's and Rivia's invasion with a series of arrogant demands. The Nilfgaardian had been impudent, as he had felt sure he'd achieve a quick and decisive victory. Yet several months on, he too received an ultimatum. One signed by Emperor Emir var Emreis himself. The missive was concise and left no room for interpretation. With General Ebdahi dead, the Nilfgaardian army descended into chaos. The kings of the north, united, took advantage and struck at the foe. Their victory was complete. The Nordling forces cheered their commanders and monarchs, but for none so vehemently as the one queen among them. Many dream of achieving the impossible. Meave had done it. Through wit, determination, and boldness, she had thwarted the Nilfgaardian invasion. The queen would rule for many more years. Stern, yet ever just.
Ha! So a lass saved the North from the Blackclads.
That is one way to put it.
Well, I'll be damned. And a chap. She find herself one in the end?
Leave it be. Bloke's been spinning the tale all night. Story's done. Time we got some shut-eye.
I want to know.
Yes. Particularly as we've yet a long road before us.
Phew. Throat must be parched as old leather after all that. Except, I'm itching to know what happened to the lot of them. Reynard, Gascon.
Very well. Whom shall we start with? Willem? A pawn, a tool in others' hands. Most, if not all, had seen him thus. Yet in the end, he proved his worth soundly. Though he'd started the war a traitor, he perished in the fray a hero, and would be remembered as such. Having settled in Rivia, Gascon embarked on a life worthy of his new title. In doublet and ruff, he looked to his ample fields and livestock in daytime, attended banquets and feasts come the eve. And then one night, he grabbed his bow and quiver, saddled his favorite mount, and disappeared without a trace.
Figures.
As news of the Nordling victory filtered south, Nilfgaard's inhabitants greeted it with disbelief. Returning Imperial soldiers told stories of Lyria's cruel queen, who murdered prisoners and sullied sacred laws. They referred to her as Gvaeldead, the bloodthirsty one. With the advent of peace, tensions waned. Lyria's and Rivia's disparate races seemed to live harmoniously, side by side. The Queen pressed for new laws aimed at curbing oppression. They were a step towards more enlightened rule, yet sadly were habitually broken.
Damn it.
And Meve? As I said, she ruled with an iron hand, not fist. Ever alone, ever strong, dousing dissent with commanding gestures. She was beloved, I've no doubt. Yet her subjects always breathed easier when her gaze moved on from them to someone else. And now, if you'd allow me...
Course. Leave him be, lads. Let him get some rest. Till the time comes for the next tale.
What about Reynard? Achievement unlocked. Return to Queen. That had to be Reynard, right? That had to be Reynard talking. It had to be. It had to be. I wanted them to get together. Damn it! I should have made a different decision. Well, guys, I had a lot of fun playing this game. I would say give it a try if you like The Witcher stories and games and stuff. And if you like Gwent, it's a really fun game. Now, I didn't play this on like a more difficult mode, but I still think it was fun I still think it was pretty hard sometimes, especially with the puzzle ones. Those were confusing sometimes. But I do think you guys would enjoy this game, and I say give it a try. You might enjoy it a lot, especially if you like stuff about the Witcher world and stuff like that. Anyway, $35 hours and 45 minutes, damn. Anyway, I'm going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun. If you want to see previous videos that I've done, go check out my YouTube channel. Links in my bio. If you're on my YouTube channel, go check out my Twitch. I stream quite often, or at least I try to. Don't forget to like and subscribe, do whatever the hell it is you guys want to do. And if you want to check out when I'm about to stream something, go check out my X or my Instagram links also. Go check out my X or my Instagram, link is in my bio. If you don't want to do any of that, you can go check out my stream schedule on Twitch. If you don't want to do any of that for whatever reason, here's the stream schedule. Tomorrow I will be streaming The Long Dark. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, do whatever the hell you guys want to do. And I hope you guys have a good day or night wherever you are. And I shall see you guys real soon. Bye!